Okay, welcome to this nudge. This nudge is all about the daily stand-up. In Scrum, it's known as the Daily Scrum, or in Disciplined Agile, it's known as the Daily Coordination Meeting. The important thing is that you don't have to be software developers to do this, and in the military, we would do this all the time. It's really important to coordinate the work for the next 24 hours, to seek clarity, to ensure accountability for the work that we're doing. And it's a form of governance. In fact, if run effectively, a daily scrum can remove some of the need for formal governance techniques if the stakeholders can come along and see for themselves how the team are progressing. So there's lots of resource online regarding the daily stand-up. If you go to scrum.org, it details it precisely. And there's lots of YouTubes that you can also use, including one of my own. This one is a little bit more in depth, and it's more for what, as a facilitator, you can look out for, or as a team member, you can be aware of. The first thing is I have here another whiteboard, and I know currently it's October 2020, and we're a few months into this COVID crisis, and most people around the world are still working from home. However, in New Zealand at least, things are starting to return back to normal, and hopefully in the new year that will be the same case elsewhere. And we need to consider, where possible, to bring back that habit of seeing each other face to face every day. I know it seems that it's effective to do it online using Confluence or even Miro, but being together really helps with a shared understanding of what the intent of the work is for the day. Now, the first thing as well to consider when conducting the daily stand-up is the goal. Now, you'll have an overarching goal for the iteration. If you're running lean or Kanban, you won't have an iteration, and it's important to have perhaps a daily goal. I got this idea from Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky, who wrote Make Time and also wrote the Google Sprint from Google Ventures. And having a daily goal can be really fulfilling. It can provide you with focus for the work that you've got to do today. So the first recommendation is to create a goal. The next thing I look out for is eyes and eye contact. Now, what we've got here is we've got the board, we've got the people. These people in blue are the developers, and I've put them in blue because they're doing blue work, they're doing reflective work. And you'll notice that there's a mesh topology between them, and this is what I look out for. Are they coordinating between one another? And is it a balanced mesh where everyone has equal airtime? Or is there a single person who seems to have an answer for every question, which is an issue we need to talk about? Or even worse, people are starting to talk to the Scrum Master, who becomes a pseudo project manager or coordinator, or even the product owner, or whatever that role is called in your organization. That I see as an anti-pattern, because if people are reporting into the product owner, it's starting to emerge as a status meeting. And that's not what we want to try and have. It's important for these people to be here, but it's better for them to stand outside of this network of the people doing the work, because we want these people to self-organize and collaborate together. Also, I've got a long list of other people here who are interested in progress. And wherever I go, when I'm consulting, I really encourage stakeholders to come and see the Daily Scrum. In Japanese, in Toyota, it's called Genji Kenbutsu. Go see for yourself, or go to the Gemba, go to the work. And this is the best time to do it. But we want you to only observe, and it needs to be something that's habitual so people are familiar with it. If they've never had the CIO suddenly turn up and watch the Daily Scrum, people are going to be on their toes. But if it happens every day, it becomes normal. So we want executives and senior stakeholders to come to Daily Scrums as often as possible. The other thing to look at is the way people do their Daily Scrum. Now, I'm not exaggerating here. I'm going to reenact something I saw a few years ago. Somebody, a tester it was looking at the tickets, and she said, okay, yesterday I worked on this ticket, and today I'm going to work on this ticket. And in fact, I'm not exaggerating, that really happened. The other thing is she was stood away from the board and she kind of reached in. Now, this told me, if you know anything about Joe Navarro and body language, you can't ever make conclusions from body language. But this suggests to me when somebody does this, is their feet are telling them to stay away from the board. It's threatening. Your limbic brain is telling you not to touch the board. So what I want people to do is go up to the board, hold the ticket, and then talk to everyone else like this, and then put it back on the board. It's tactile and it shows a bit more energy. The fact that this person yawned suggests to me that she might have only just been going through the motions. Oh, it's another daily stand-up, and then I can get back to doing what I was doing. So I really want people to have a really intentional way of running this, and it makes so much more difference. There's something in the Japanese rail system called point and call, and David Marquet talks about certify, don't brief. And you've got to be so mindful that people are just going through the motions but not being intentional about it. So I really watch out for that. So these are the things I look for: eye contact, body language and position, where the product owner and stakeholders are sat. Have we got a physical board? Are people actually owning the tickets and moving them and touching them? And also, is there a goal at the top? If you've got those things, and you do it repeatedly over time, it will change the way the team interacts. And so that's my suggestion for today. That's my nudge for today. Of course, there's many other things that we can talk about. So if you've got any feedback